Hi guys, it's Bridget, and I am here with the one and only Chely Wright. Hi.
Hi, Bridget. How are you?
I'm super. Am I holding it far enough away?
You're doing. I think you're doing fine. Let's check the boss. Okay,
I'm just really loud. I'm a stand-up comic, so I'm super loud.
Oh,
so
are
I have to do this for me.
Awesome.
But you have a beautiful, demure, lovely lady voice, and I don't have that problem.
Yeah, but I wish I could tell jokes. I wish I could be funny. I'm just not.
No, you're just incredibly talented, and you have books and music, and everybody knows who you are. But yeah, I mean, I can give you a couple jokes to be fun.
Great, thanks.
So tonight you're performing for the Backlot Bash. Do you get nervous anymore when you perform?
On occasion I do. If I have family in the audience or someone, a lifelong friend, or on award shows, on national TV. I'd be lying if I said my heart didn't pound a little bit faster, but there's a natural enthusiasm that comes with any show. So I feel my body temperature warm up, which is a good thing, before any show because it's just adrenaline and excitement, but it seldom tips over into nerves.
That's good, so you're a professional.
Well, yeah, I try.
So do you have your set list all prepared tonight, and if so, what's your opening song?
Well, we have a guideline, but I change things a lot, which my band really loves. They enjoy that. We'll probably open with the song that people know. Yeah, and end with, you want to bookend it, right? You want to start with your good material and end with your good material.
You know exactly.
Right.
Do you do encores?
Well, if people like me.
So if I'm cheering encore, what do you come out and sing for me?
What would you like to hear?
Oh my! Spot. But you've already done all your catalog. You've done everything.
There's no way I can do my entire catalog. I think at last count, master original recordings, it's in the 100. It's like 100 something. So I couldn't do that.
You need to stop.
I should, right?
You're a glutton.
It's time to quit. It's really gilding the lily at this point, isn't it?
So you're just making me feel like a lazy person.
Loser.
Thanks for watching. No, don't. So your process about writing music, I mean, it's really an art. I think some people just think it's easy for some reason. So what is your process like?
Well, sometimes songwriting is easy, but it comes after, I think, years of exercising the muscle. I think I look at it like, some of the great songwriters that mentored me when I first got to Nashville, the Bobby Braddocks and the Harlan Howards, they said, kid, you gotta work it out every day. You gotta get all those average songs out of you and get ready. Get your craft and your abilities ready for when that great idea comes. And so if you've exercised the thought muscle enough, God willing, when the great idea comes, sometimes they spill out onto the paper and you can't write them down quickly enough. On the other hand, there are some songs that you really have to craft and work at, and I've worked at songs, writing them for maybe 2 years took me to finish them, and then there are the ones where I sit down and just write it down. So it's different, but I think the most important part about being a creative person, and you write your own material as a stand-up comic, is just the mechanics of it. Make yourself sit down and turn everything off, turn the TV off.
It's hard to make yourself right.
Yeah, but once you do, you can see why there are fruits of the labor that you can see, and it feels good, doesn't it, when you get an original idea. And so that's kind of my process. Is
there any song you're working on right now that you still haven't quite mastered? Anything secret that you keep trying to go back to finish?
I've got several of them. Yeah, there's one that I was kind of toying around with the other day. I just can't quite nail it down. It's not a lack of trying. It's just it's not ready to be. It's just.
What's the theme of it?
Love. What's the theme of every good song? Love.
That's true.
Yeah.
If so, you've done your book and albums, and you're just so. Oh, don't worry about that. No, it's nothing. It doesn't matter. So if you were going to do like a Lifetime movie about your life, I can't imagine that you'd want to do that. But if you were going to do a Lifetime movie about your life, or let's say a Broadway play about your life, a musical, who would you want to be cast to play you?
To be cast to play me, like
who could fill your shoes, Chely?
Oh gosh, that's such a loaded question. So
would you want to play yourself?
Well, I could play the current day me, but as far as the young, everyone's life story is, far-reaching, right? It's from childhood and teenage years, and
so young Chely,
young me,
like a Dakota Fanning.
Isn't she in rehab?
Oh, no, she's... Wait, who said that? Was that Kathy Griffith said that?
Yeah, Kathy. It was such a great bit.
so funny.
Because, of course, Dakota Fanning would never be in rehab.
God. Give her time. Who knows?
You know, I don't know. I don't keep up with who the young starlets are, but just probably an everyday average girl who has dreams. That kind of...
Great answer. This is why everybody loves you.
Oh.
So if you could talk to, let's say we have a time machine, we can go back in time, and now we're talking to young Chely, 10-year-old Chely. What would you say? Like, what piece of advice would you give yourself, age 10?
At age 10, oh wow, that was a really important and treacherous time in my life. I realized when I was 9 that I was a little gay girl. So I would probably tell my 10-year-old self it's okay, you're all right.
Just give it time. You'll have everything, and including an amazing wife.
Well, yeah, I mean, wouldn't it be neat if we could go back and talk to ourselves? But I think that is the impetus for the work that our community, the LGBT community, needs to do if they're safe and able to come out and mentor and speak to the young folks. You know, I delivered a speech at the Glisson Awards last year, and the title of it was "Feel Like a Kid Again," and the theme of it was, let's not forget that we made ourselves promises in those small towns that if I could ever go back and save this town, I would. And now we're all in a position to go back and feel like a kid again and save, help those young people who are really struggling with anything, not just being gay, but just trying to fit in. And I think that's important that we all remember what it feels like to feel like a kid.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, like you said, they grow up and they forget, and everything changes in their lives.
I think we're well-intentioned. I think, but the further we get away from those struggles and we get jobs and nice houses and, disposable income, we forget that we actually do have a cape sewn on our back if we just use it.
I do love a cape and a wig.
I don't judge. I never judge you.
So you are married. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's the best thing about being married, and do you notice a difference now?
I do notice a difference. In fact, the day that Lauren and I became engaged, the next morning I said, "Do you feel different?" She said, "I do." And the morning after we got married, we had the same discussion. It's like, it's great to be recognized on a social level. We live in New York City, and we're recognized as a legally married couple. That's great, but also standing up in front of God and everybody, and my reverend and her rabbi and our loved ones, our families coming together, that was such a beautiful experience to see that if we have hard times, which we will, all married couples do, now we have a village of people who want us to make it, and we have resources to reach out and connect and say, why do I keep making her mad about this, or why does it bug me that she spills water on the floor, or, the complaints she has about me that I return empty cartons to the refrigerator for no reason. I mean, it's great to know that we have a forever team on our side, and I think that's what's different.
One of my favorite things about you is I follow you on Twitter, my wife and I do, because you say whatever the hell you want.
Do I? Am I mouthy?
You are mouthy. You get in fights with people.
Well, they fight with me. I really actually don't. I think I actually don't fight with people. I think I will hit the retweet button and illuminate some of the daggers that are thrown my way, but by and large, I don't get down in the mud with people the way that I want to.
I mean, the thing that's great about you, yeah, right? The thing that's great, where I do, but the thing that's great about you is, I mean, you're just so intelligent. So the way you craft what you write, it's always very smart and sharp. So it's never like people could ever use what you're saying against you, because it's always factual and correct right on. But sometimes my wife will send me this, like, look what she said. I'm like, hell yeah.
Well, people really, especially behind the monikers that they make up, their fake screen names, it's easy to criticize. And just yesterday someone put words in my mouth and I said, well, you're wrong, be careful, don't tell lies. And he said, well, maybe you should get 2 Twitter accounts, one for you personally and one for your political beliefs. And I said, well, maybe you should get 2 Twitter accounts, one for your fake name and one for your real name.
Yeah, right.
And I'm very mindful to not put anything out there that could be retweeted that would make me look less than classy, but because we know that could happen. But boy, there are times when I just want to jump through the computer and have a real mouth off with them. But I try not to, and I try to understand that people do have their own opinions, and we don't all agree. But
I just understand if somebody doesn't agree with you, that's fine. It's just life. Yeah. Why do they bother going after you or fighting with you or saying, like, I don't believe this? It's like, okay, that's fine. Just don't follow me. You know.
That's interesting to me why people do that. I don't follow anyone that their timeline makes me uncomfortable or angry. In fact, I follow a lot of people who have much different beliefs than I do, but if they deliver it in a real tacky way, I don't follow. I just hit the unfollow button. It's not hard. It's a real easy, user-friendly button.
You hear the guys? Something's annoying you. Just don't follow it. Just don't read it.
That being said, I really am happy to have informed dialogue with people, and I like it. I think we're not monolithic in our ideology. Certainly not in the gay and lesbian community, certainly not in the faith-based community, not in the country music world, so I'm up for a good discussion. It's just when they get ugly,
Yeah.
Delete.
Good. I'm glad you do that. I think a lot of women out there specifically don't know how to say no, and we're so smiley and we're trying to make everybody happy and not really put our opinions out there because we're going to step on someone else's opinion. So I think the fact that you say what you mean and you say it so eloquently is just another way that you're a great role model.
Well, thank you.
I know. Thank you. So you do so many interviews now. What is the one question that people always ask you?
Oh, my God. Let's see. I don't know. I've been being interviewed for a long time. I guess the one that historically in my career people have asked me is, I can tell that they haven't read my bio and they know nothing about me, and they'll say, so tell me how you got into music.
Oh.
That's the one that you just hear over and over and over. And so what I'll say to that is, that's a long answer if you have a specific question.
Good for you.
Yeah. Because it's like, how did I get into music? It's a long story.
You come and you show up and you travel around the world and perform. It's like, take 5 seconds to read about you.
Well, and I know journalists are busy too. We're all busy, but my tip for journalists is don't ask an artist that question. So how did you get into painting? Ask A-Rod, how did you get into baseball?
When did you start that?
Yeah.
A long time ago.
A
long time ago. I have a random question that they didn't ask me to ask, but I want to ask. If you had the opportunity to get on one of Richard Branson's flights to outer space, would you go?
Probably not.
I wouldn't either.
Not because I'd be afraid that I wouldn't be safe, because I'm pretty lucky. I arrive where I need to arrive. I think I would think I would want my friend Lance Bass to go before me.
I know. Lance was supposed to go.
So if I get the spot, I think I'd text Lance and say,
"You're a good person.
Guess what? You're gonna go to space."
I'd be too scared. I wouldn't want to go.
I flew in an F-16 over the southern peninsula of South Korea a few years back, and I didn't want to do it, but my band and my brother, who's a Marine, they said, "Do it for the men in your life." I did it, and when I landed, we pulled 9 Gs. I almost got sick. Yeah, it was real.
That's ridiculous.
And
more proof she's a real lesbian. We did 9 Gs.
We know. Well, and then we landed, and I kissed the ground, and I vowed to never do that again. So
you wouldn't do that again. You're not like a rush junkie kind of people.
No,
you're not bungee jumping kind of stuff.
I don't ride roller coasters. I don't. I cry when I go down the ski slope.
But you still ski though.
I'm going to try it again this year, but I'm afraid someone always hurts their knee,
yes,
and I cry.
I'm not anymore.
I'm not
cry. Don't
tough.
do it.
I'm not a daredevil.
Well, you don't have to be. You're good enough as you are.
I am worthy. I'm smart.
It's like, what's his name? Smiley.
Yeah.
I am good enough.
Doggone it.
Doggone it. People like Chely Wright, as you all know. Stuart Smiley. Oh, you're so right. So there's a huge group of people outside for your show. Very excited to see you. A lot of people admire you. Who do you admire?
Oh, I admire a lot of folks. I admire my sister. I admire my brother, of course. They're both great. They're really great people. I'm lucky to have them. I admire my best friend Chuck, who he's worked on Wall Street and bravely came out and was one of the first guys openly gay on Wall Street. I admire him.
And that really makes a difference. I just want to reiterate, we talk about being out, but being out really makes a difference.
Yeah, well, it does, and if you feel safe and able to do it.
Yes,
I don't advocate that everyone run down the street in Dothan, Alabama with the rainbow flag around them.
Don't do that.
Unless you feel safe and able. I admire Hillary Clinton. I admire President Bush 1. I like the Bush family very much. I admire, of course, our current president. He's got an amazing story, and I think he's one of the best orators that we've had in a long time, perhaps since Ronald Reagan. Inventors, I think people who invent things are magical.
Yeah.
A lot of people. That list could go on and on.
Do a little more research.
Yeah.
Everybody. Oh, we're getting the wave. We're getting the wave.
Oh my God.
Chely, what's next for you? Before we go, what's next for you? Going on stage.
Going on stage, and point of note, we're being joined on stage with a drummer, Janet Kramer, tonight. Now, Janet and I started our first band together when we were 13.
What was the name of your band?
Our band was 0 Hour. We grew up together.
Wow. Did you guys have T-shirts?
They're probably, and we had paying gigs. I mean, we were a real band, and she's a great musician here in Chicago, and she's sitting in with us tonight.
That's awesome. Well, we'll be sticking around to watch. We're very lucky to be here with Miss Chely. Make sure you follow her on Twitter, which is just twitter.com/Chely Wright. You will enjoy it. And
Chely Wright with the C, C-H-E-L-Y.
If you don't know how to spell it, then something's wrong with you.
Right.
Thank you, Chely.
Get on the Google.
Thank you for all that you do. We really appreciate it. Have a great show tonight.
Thanks.